Joe Bud from Olympia Gate. This is the Rorshok, Georgia update from the 30th of May, 2024. Quick summary of what's going down in Georgia. Sunday the 26th, Georgia celebrated Independence Day. There were celebrations across 18 cities. In Tbilisi, the Ministry of Culture organized a big gala concert. Started with the women's choir singing the national anthem, including dancing performances by groups like Erisoni, Edisioni, Rustavi, and Bassiani. About 1,000 artists from folk ensembles performed across the country. 300 children also sang the national anthem, and recruits of the Georgian Defense Forces took their oath on Freedom Square in the capital. Tuesday, the 28th, Parliament discussed President Salome Zurabashvili's veto of the Russian law, a bill that would create a register of individuals as well as organizations that get more than 20% of their income from abroad, not including Bidzina Ivanishvili, who made all of his money from abroad and whose bank accounts are abroad. The president argued that the law goes against the Constitution and the country's European integration, which it most certainly does. She accurately said that it was unconstitutional and needed to be repealed immediately. On the same day, 84 members of the Georgian Dream, or the Russian Dream as it is now known, overturned the president's veto of the Russian law with 84 votes. The law will be sent back to Parliament for her signature. If she does not sign it within 5 days, the chairman of Parliament will sign it and publish it, and it will be law. More about the president. On Wednesday, the 29th, she addressed the public proposing a referendum on the Russian law. She urged protesters to gather signatures for a vote to decide if Georgia should pursue a European future or align with Russian policies. Zurabashvili emphasized that the decision should be made by the people, not just by 84 members of parliament. To add insult to injury, the day after Ourzines passed the Russian law over the wishes of the European Union and the people of Georgia, and despite significant Western investment already in this venture, a Chinese consortium, including China Communications Construction Company and China Harbor Investment, was given the contract to build a new deep water port in, you guessed it, Anaklia. Getting to the heart of the matter, Levan Davitashvili, Minister of Economy, embarrassingly but with a straight face, said that the consortium was the only one to submit a complete proposal with all the needed guarantees. Georgian state will supposedly own 51% of the joint port construction company, while the private partner will hold 49%. The plan, most likely agreed between the Chinese Communist Party, Putin, and Bidzina, is for China and Russia to set up a port in Georgia for the long term in order to more effectively evade Western sanctions against Russia, with Georgia shouldering all the risk. Keep in mind, this is all the while Russia is building a naval base at Ochamchire in Abkhazia, also on Georgian territory. On Thursday, the 23rd, the European Court of Human Rights, or ECHR, found no violations of former President Misha Saakashvili's right to a fair trial and rejected his remarks alleging political motives behind his prosecution. The case involved his alleged attack on members of parliament in 2005 and his 2008 pardon for 4 officers convicted of murder. The court emphasized that the charges against him were serious and well-founded, and that the national courts conducted fully adversarial proceedings, allowing his lawyer to contest the evidence thoroughly. In economic news, on Wednesday the 29th, the National Statistics Office of Georgia reported the population living below the poverty line fell by 4 points in 2023. It's now at 12% this year. Urban poverty decreased to 10%. Rural poverty dropped to 16%. Vakhtang Tsinsadze, Deputy Minister of Economy, said that about 140,000 people had been lifted out of poverty in 1 year with targeted social programs. Tuesday the 28th, the National Bank sold $49 million out of $60 million offered at a foreign exchange auction to provide liquidity and address excess demand. Natia Turnava, the bank's governor, said that Georgia saw an almost 8% increase in real GDP in 2023, mainly driven by investment. On Monday the 27th, visa-free travel scheme for Georgia to visit China came into effect. Chinese embassy announced that Georgians could stay in China for up to 30 days per visit, up to 90 days in total within 180 days. However, for stays longer than 30 days to work, study, or other activities, Georgian citizens need a visa. In a tragic event on Thursday the 23rd, a mother and her daughter were shot dead on Dumbadze Street in Rustavi, Kvemo-Kartli region. Preliminary results of investigation suggest the incident might have stemmed from domestic disputes. The Ministry of Internal Affairs has detained a suspect. On Monday the 27th, the rule of law spring school in Tel Aviv in Kakheti region came to an end. Organized by the United Nations Development Program, or UNDP, it brought together 50 young people from Georgia, Ukraine, and Egypt to learn about civil rights and public international law. Participants engaged with EU officials and law experts to explore the UN system and mechanisms for protecting civil, economic, political, and refugees' rights. Speaking of UNDP, on the same day, high school students from Anaklia and Batumi monitored dolphins on the Black Sea coast. The activity was part of an EU UNDP project called EU for MBLAS, where students attend seminars at Batumi State University to learn about marine biodiversity and conservation, participate in other educational activities till the annual Black Sea Day celebration in October. On Saturday, the 25th, the NGO American Friends of Georgia, or AFG, celebrated its 30th anniversary with a gala at the Biltmore Hotel in Tbilisi. AFG was founded in 1994, supports children and elderly individuals across Georgia. The gala included an auction to raise funds for projects like the Zegvi Shelter and Hospice and Palliative Home Care Program. On to energy news. On Monday, the 27th, Georgia launched a green hydrogen project. The Ministry of Economy, the Georgian Oil and Gas Corporation, Batumi City Hall, and German development bank KfW signed an agreement for a power plant near Tbilisi with a budget of 1 million euros. This project aims to replace Batumi's public transportation with green hydrogen-powered vehicles, supporting Georgia's goals for decarbonization and renewable energy. Let's see if anybody puts any more money in. Georgia also goes green in the real estate sector. On Friday the 24th, company Gumbati Holding talked about its Vaque residence program. It'll showcase sustainable architecture with green construction techniques and energy-efficient features. More infrastructure news on Thursday the 30th. Prime Minister Irakli Kobakhidze and Tbilisi Mayor Kachi Kaladze inaugurated a new bridge connecting Bagheri and University Street. The bridge's aim is to reduce traffic and improve travel routes. Project includes sidewalks, LED lighting, railings, insulation, and drainage systems. Construction started back in September 2021, cost 36 million lari, which is about 13 million US dollars. Close to this addition, some historical discoveries. On Monday, the 27th, an international archaeological expedition found the ruins of an ancient palace in the Alazani Valley in eastern Kakheti. This palace, dating back to the 5th to 4th century BC, spans 1 hectare. The National Museum shared photos of the site showing a complex building with a large hall and square podium, perhaps for a monarch. Agricultural activities have damaged the ruins close to the soil's surface. The expedition team included experts from the Georgian National Museum, Ludwig Maximilian University of Munich, and students from Tbilisi Jawaharlal State University. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Quick question. Listeners, do you ever go to libraries? If you do, we'd very much appreciate talking to you about Rorshok's Ourzines project is interested in libraries. Let us know what you think at info@rorshok.com. If you ever go to libraries and if you'll sit still for a 20-minute interview about that, read more about Ourzines on our website. You can find the link in the show notes. Nachmandis.